hello to you both.
Hello, good morning.
Tell me why dog owners could do more to reduce their carbon footprint.
Well, Tony, recent research by Hound has shown that over half of British dog owners have never considered the impact their dog has on the environment. However, over 80% have admitted that they're keen to make small changes to help reduce this global paw print, we call it. And one of those ways is actually to introduce a plant-based diet into your dog's food regime.
So, of course, yes, you kind of think mainly that dogs will eat meat, but I suppose they don't have to eat meat, do they?
Yeah, the interesting thing by this research that Hound has just put out, more than 2,000 pet owners, indicates that the majority wrongly believe that their animals have to eat meat. They're what we call obligate carnivores. But actually what they need from a biological perspective is just a diet that fulfills all of their nutritional requirements, that is tasty so that they will eat the diet, that's adequately digestible. And diets such as those produced by companies like Hound aim to achieve all of those objectives.
How will what will the diets consist of? You say plant-based, and how will it work?
They're generally designed to supply all the nutrients the dog's needs from a variety of plant, mineral, and synthetic sources. People often think about the amino acid taurine. People often know that that traditionally comes from meat, but what they don't know is that taurine is usually destroyed by the processing, the high temperatures and pressures used in pet food production, and it has to be added after processing from a synthetic source. It's still exactly the same amino acid, but it's a synthetic one. So that's an example of the sort of additives that can be put into these to ensure that they're nutritionally complete.
Do we know how much or how many animals are used, as it were, in the production of pet food? Because I presume, by not using those animals, you are reducing your carbon footprint.
I mean, the research by Hound just demonstrated that around about 30% of the livestock that are killed each year in the United Kingdom go into pet food production. And indeed, we know that the environmental impacts of pet food production are also a major part of the impacts of the entire livestock sector. That's from research in other countries as well.
Could you reduce the carbon footprint in other way? For example, not canning food. Is there a way you could produce packaging that wasn't dangerous to the environment?
I know Marc has got a number of ideas about reducing the impact of pet ownership. Marc, do you have some tips that people?
Yeah, absolutely, Tony and Andrew. So there's sort of 6 main ways that we can actually reduce our carbon paw print, and that's by considering the products we buy. So as you quite rightly say, packaging, buy local if possible, use companies that maybe donate treats to animal rescue, choosing high quality products that last longer and don't have to be thrown away so quickly. Obviously upcycling, repairing things like toys, wash them, mend them rather than keep buying some new stuff. Grooming products, there's plenty of plant-based grooming products out there that do a brilliant job. Using dog waste responsibly, using compostable poo bags, choosing a staycation, dog-friendly holidays rather than always tending to go abroad. But the main one is really to swap or all or some of your dog's diet. And Hound, the guys that did the research, have brought out a new plant-based sort of powerful superfood, they call it, to offer that alternative, to provide a healthy option, because really plant-based diets, like with humans, they're hypoallergenic, they're low in fat, and in my experience as a veterinary surgeon, a lot of the animals I've seen on plant-based diets, which is a growing trend, just thrive on it and do very, very well. So there's loads of things that responsible pet owners can do to reduce the carbon paw print, definitely.
And how do you get the message out there then, apart from things like this, to owners to reduce that footprint?
Oh, by first of all talking to lovely people like yourself, Tony, but also people can go to the website, which is the best place for all this information, which is Dogs Love Hound. and that's Hound spelled HOWND. So it's dogslovehound.com. There's all the information there. And, we urge pet lovers, environment lovers to go to that website, share the information, and join this sort of growing movement in reducing paw prints and our own footprints as well.
And we're talking principally about dogs here. Could you do that for other domestic pets?
Yeah, you actually can do, and this is a really good question. It's a very controversial topic within the veterinary world, because the main other pet we're thinking of, I think, is really cats. And people have always felt that cats are obligate carnivores and couldn't possibly thrive on a plant-based diet. But the first large-scale study of cats was published in a veterinary journal just 2 weeks ago, and this comes out of North America, and it looked at more than 1,000 cats, and 187 of those were vegans, and it found out that the vegans were actually more likely to be reported as being very healthy and less likely to have problems with their intestines, their body weight. Cats being overweight is a major problem today. They were less likely to suffer from that, and also less likely to suffer from liver problems. So as a matter of fact, the evidence in the field does indicate that providing the diet is formulated to provide all the nutrients that cats need, the cats are likely to be at least as healthy, and that may actually be more healthy. So that's kind of very interesting, because that's not what people have felt to be the case up until now. But we haven't had any good evidence in this area until very recently, and now we do.
I suppose, like everything else, it's convincing people, isn't it, that they need to change, because people don't like change, and they've got to be convinced either by veterinary experts or advertising campaigns, I suppose, that they do need to change.
Well, people are already there, because the research by Hound showed that 90% of dog owners in the United Kingdom that were surveyed were actually interested in making progressive changes to try to decrease the carbon paw print of their dogs. They're interested in doing what they can to help. I think people today haven't really been aware of how important diet is in being part of that change. And hopefully, the work that you're doing with us today and the other information we're getting out through various channels will make people aware that it is possible to do this very successfully, and probably have a healthier dog in the process by switching to these extremely well-designed, nutritionally sound plant-based alternatives.
Thank you both very much for your time today.
Cheers, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello to you both.
Hello. Good morning.
Tell me why dog owners could do more to reduce their carbon footprint.